Hello, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining me this evening. Those of you that are new, welcome. Those of you that are returning, welcome back. I'm sorry I didn't get all, prettified, but I put a little bit of color on my face. um, it's been a long day, and we just adopted a new baby. Her name is Zoe, a little husky. So we're happy. We've been busy and I've been, having to get everything she needed. So anyway, I want to get into the message tonight. Tonight, I want to talk about emotions. We're human. We have emotions. The best thing to do about them is to embrace them, accept them, realize where they're coming from, and know the difference between healthy emotions and unhealthy emotions. I'm checking my notes. I've been in such a cloud. I've been dealing with emotions. I've been dealing with just changes, evolving, and you know, um, different adjustments. Within my life, and so that kind of gets my head cloudy. And so I am on a journey right now, within my spirituality, on just you know owning my emotions, knowing where they're coming from. When you go through things like that, sometimes you cry and cry and cry because you just don't know what to do with those feelings. So that's one thing I've been trying to do, just know what to do with different things that I'm feeling, different thoughts, different ideas. Um, it's different situations in my life. Everyone has areas where they're extremely happy in life, where they're mediocre, and where they're not very happy. And sometimes, those emotions come in and you just don't know what to do with it. You're happy one minute, sad the next, cool, mediocre another. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about emotions just being, a part of who you are. Some people are more emotional than others. Some people are more like, I don't want to say stone cold, but yeah, just a little more cold, a little more just kind of cut off with their emotions. And a lot of times we're taught that, as kids. It's like, especially with little boys. And I have boys, so I'm guilty of that. Don't cry. You're a boy. Boys don't cry. When we do that to our kids, we're teaching them to shut their emotions off, to be kind of cold. Um, and that is not healthy. You know, um, yes, as a parent, it's annoying to have a kid just crying all the doggone time because they're, they may be a little more sensitive towards, feeling things. But to teach them to shut their emotions down, it's not right. And we've done that for generations, for centuries. And that's something that we need to stop doing. We need to step back and look at men in society today. A lot of men, women complain, oh, he's distant, he's detached, he's this, he's that. Because as a child, he was taught, don't cry, boys don't cry. He's taught, just suck it up, deal with it. That's one thing I kind of do to myself. I don't like to cry. I would rather break something, hit somebody. I don't do those things, but I would rather do that than cry. I hold in crying a lot because I feel like it's being a punk. If you cry, or you're being weak, but you're not. You're strong when you cry because you are feeling your emotions, you're owning it, and you're letting it flow. And even though I'm preaching this to you, I'm struggling with it. I have a hard time with it. And it's something that I'm working on because I don't want that to affect my relationships with other people, with family, with my boyfriend, with, friends, with coworkers, whoever. I don't want me trying to be, this tough chick, hardcore all the time to, affect the way people may interact with me or I interact with them. I don't want to um, come off as if I have no emotions, or if I don't care, or if I'm heartless, and I want to be responsible and accountable, responsible for my actions and accountable for them. Um, Kind of the same thing. Well, whatever. But yeah, so we need to learn how to express ourselves in a way that's healthy, because I see too many times people get angry. I saw someone just yesterday jump out of his car in the middle of traffic and yell at someone because they were kind of stuck. He thought that they could just move and get out of his way, but they couldn't. They were, a little bit stuck, and the guy jumps out of his car. He's like, "Off your car!" Screaming and honking the horn, and there's so many people just honking and mad and going crazy. Well, what if this gentleman jumped out of the car and yelled, "Move your car," and that person jumped out of their car, with a knife or a gun or something like that? We have to stop and think, realize, okay, you know what, I'm upset right now. I understand the situation that made me upset, or sometimes we'll get upset and we're not even sure why. So we need to stop, understand the emotion that we're feeling, understand what caused it, understand why we may feel the way we feel, because sometimes you can feel angry, get offended about something. But then if you stop and you think about it, you go, "Oh, wait a minute. Now I see that person didn't mean that way. And wait a minute. I saw that wrong, or I understood that incorrectly." We have to be responsible enough to sit back, think it out, realize and understand the situation, and go back and, or not go back, but just really pay attention to what's going on before we react. Because if somebody's blocking your way in traffic, you can kind of look around. If you're unable to see, maybe give them a little toot, and then wait a little bit and see if, hey, okay, you know what, this person might be stuck. One time I was pulled up at a red light and I'm just honking, honking, honking. I mean, I'm sorry, it was a green light, and I'm honking, honking, honking. And then I looked and I realized there's an ambulance coming. They just didn't have their sirens going. Their lights were flashing, but I couldn't see because it was daytime. And I'm honking at this person like, "Why aren't you going? The light's green," And hello, they couldn't, So sometimes we really have to just stop, think, dissect things before we react. And when we do that, we'll realize that, you know what, this situation is not me flipping out over. Or we'll realize, okay, if I flip out, what's going to happen? There's going to be a fight, or something's going to get broken, or I could lose my job, or anything. You really have to think about the whole big picture. You have to kind of, take a few seconds to kind of lay it out. It doesn't take long. It's not going to take an hour for you to figure out how to react. You can boom, 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 just get your thoughts together quickly and get through it. But the main thing that we need to do is unlearn the things that we were taught, like, "Oh, you're a boy, you shouldn't cry." If you're a man and something's going on in your life, you can cry. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt anybody. You're not going to lose cool points because you have a heart. You're not going to lose cool points because you're expressing your emotions, And yeah, I know I need to be looking in the mirror telling myself that. But I really do feel like, when I cry, like I'm going to lose cool points, or I'm being a little wimp, but I'm not. I'm just human expressing my emotions. So, one thing, and that, I don't know, you have to be really strong. I like to advise everyone, because every single soul on this earth needs to go through shadow work. And shadow work, oh my gosh, it's painful, it's traumatic, but it's necessary. Shadow work is when you go back to your furthest memory. And while you're dealing with that memory, like, someone might have bullied you, or your first spanking or something like that, and you really think about it and you dissect that situation, that memory, and you realize, whoa, I've been mad at my mom or my dad or my whoever, for spanking me when I was 5. I've been carrying that anger on for all these years. It's time for me to let go, release that. And that might trigger another memory, maybe even further. Or, you'll think of something new, you'll think of something happy and go, wow, I haven't done, that activity. Like when I was a kid, I used to love my roller skates. I was hell on wheels. At the roller rink, I'd be, skating, speeding around the rink, and then I just spin around and then I'm going backwards. Those were good times. Those were happy times. And I realized, like, wow, I really used to enjoy that. And I want to skate again. But then again, I'm sitting here like, yeah, if I fall and bust my butt, I might not recover. But that is something I would like to do. I have to tell my boyfriend that. So we're gonna have to go roller skating, babe. But yeah, so I do want to, get back in the roller rink. I might do it with the little walker thingy because it's been a while. I remember I went when I was 26 and I was like, ooh, I'm too old. Now, if I thought at 26, 9 years ago, no, 19 years ago, hello, that I was too old. Imagine now, almost 20 years later. But dig up those old feelings, sad ones, deal with it. Happy ones, embrace them. And maybe, go back to doing those things. Like me, I would love to go back to roller skating again. Another childhood memory that I'm very fond of, fishing. I used to love fishing as a kid. I want to go fishing again. So these are things that I've forgotten about in my childhood that I would love to do again. I've thought about those memories and I've pulled that happy emotion, that happy feeling from that, and I've, embraced it. And now I'm about to start planning to do those things because they were fun. They brought joy, into my life, and they brought me close to the people that I was around. So that's something that I want to incorporate into my life nowadays. But the painful things, I've done things like different family members that I'm upset with, or different friends that I'm upset with, people that I've cut off. I've cut people out of my life to help myself, to save my sanity, to save me from just flipping out or just carrying the weight of the relationship with them. And one thing I did, because there's people I didn't want to talk to, or people that oh, absolutely, Erica, I can definitely help you with that. But there's people that, I've had to cut off and didn't want to talk to anymore, or people that I have a wonderful relationship with, but I don't want to bring up, you know, old news. So one thing you can do is write a letter. Just write everything you feel. You know what? You really hurt me when you did this. You really upset me when you did that. And just pour those emotions, those negative emotions out of your body onto that piece of paper. Write it out. Cry, scream, throw something. Don't break anything, but throw something. Throw a rubber ball outside at a brick wall. If you want to just throw something, you can do it in a healthy way that's not going to hurt anybody. It's not going to break anything. But just be careful, because sometimes if you throw a ball too hard at a wall, it might bounce back and hit you in that. So be careful. But just make sure that you're out there doing what you have to do to heal, because you could be holding on to things that happened 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, depending on how old you are. And the person that you have these negative feelings or emotions from or with, they don't know and they don't care, and they're living their life being happy. So you have to do what you need to for yourself and heal. So if you're holding on to pain, if you're holding on to hurt, write it out in that letter. Like I said, cry, scream, throw something, have a full on temper tantrum. Erica, when your mom's out, you can tell your mom, what, take the kids. I need a healing session, and do that. take the time to do that. And then when you're done and you're ready, take that piece of paper, go outside, light it, let it burn, and let the wind just carry the ashes away. You watching it burn up in flames. You're letting all that negativity go, and then you're letting the wind carry it away from you. And once it's gone, don't take it back, because that's something that I've been guilty of. That's something that I've done. I've cried and done all that and healed from something. And then I start thinking about it. And when you start thinking about it, you start pulling it back little by little. And there's times where I'm like, well, no, I've healed from that. And I'll throw it back. Like, nope, 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 nope. Don't bring that back. Leave that out there. So that's something we definitely need to do. And that will heal. That will help us heal emotionally. Excuse me. Just reading my notes. Well, okay, I'll read my notes because I feel bad. Like I'm looking over here, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm, staying on subject. When I do my notes, I just kind of like take the ideas and just throw them down and type them out into my phone, into my notes. But human emotions, it's a part of us, who we are, how we express ourselves. Unlearn hiding them, dig them up and feel. We have to learn how to reasonably feel, own and express our emotions. Meaning, if you're angry, say so, scream, do what you need, but not something that will cause any kind of harm to others or property. We need to tap into tools like meditation, crying, screaming, leaning on a trusted loved one, etc. So if you have, a best friend or, sibling, your mom, anybody, somebody, that's really close to you, that you can trust with your emotions, that you could trust to understand you and hear you out and take that journey with you, call them up and talk to them about, doing shadow work. Read up on it, because there's lots of ways to do shadow work. Another way of doing shadow work is, people with like low self-esteem, or me, I procrastinate a lot. So sometimes I have to, get in the mirror and look myself in the eyes and say, you know what, we are not going to be lazy. We are not going to let another day pass by. And, we haven't accomplished these goals, or we haven't taken a step forward. Sorry, I keep shaking this. But look yourself in the eye and write out affirmations. Affirmations is affirming something, making it solid in your life. So I would love, my dream car is, I like the Discovery Range Rovers. So every time I see one, I say, that is my car. Sometimes I sit back and I'll visualize myself driving one. So sometimes I'll look at myself in the mirror and say, girl, you're going to be driving that Range Rover soon. Get ready, pick out your color, get it together. Let's go. You give yourself a little pep talk and speak things into existence. But just making sure you deal with your emotions, right? Make sure you deal with your emotions and you do it in a healthy way. When you're happy, be happy. When someone comes along and says, what are you smiling for? Girl, because I'm happy. Go find you some happiness too. And don't let other people, exactly. We're both we're going to pass each other on the freeway and honk. Well, not the freeway, but the street and honk like, girl, hey, I see you in your Range Rover. I'm in mine. But make sure that, I lost my track. But make sure that, I lost my train of thought. Make sure that you are owning your emotions, owning your feelings, doing things in a healthy way. Oh, that's what I was saying. Make sure you don't allow anyone to steal your shine. That does happen a lot. And I'm guilty of that. That happened to me. Well, the person didn't really steal my shine, but I had a couple of people a little cranky yesterday. And I was a little like kind of stressed out because I was, rushing. I had to get here, get there, get this done, get that done. So I'm running around, and then I had a couple of people, snappy, and I had a little attitude, and I was just like, ugh, ready to breathe fire from dealing with that. And my boyfriend's like, babe, don't let people, you know, ruin your day or put you in a bad mood. And I had to kind of check myself. I was kind of, no, they're not. But I was a little ticked. So don't allow people to come in and steal your shine. If people want to join in, or if you're happy, you're in a good mood, and they want to join in and be happy with you, wonderful. Let the vibrations rise, and just enjoy, that happiness together, because it's just going to expand and grow. But if someone comes to you in a negative light, send them on their way. And then, yes, definitely taking deep breaths, kumbaya, wusa, all of that. And if you see somebody else that's upset or in a bad mood, and they're of reasonable mind, you can, help somebody else out. It's always rewarding. Don't do it looking for the reward, but do it because you feel it in your heart. Sometimes I'll see people upset, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to wish them well and keep going, because it doesn't feel right in my heart to stop and say anything. But then there's other times where I can see a complete stranger looking upset, and I'm just like, are you okay? Do you need someone to talk to you? Because I don't know, if I feel that pull in my spirit to speak to someone, to help them out, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because sometimes last week, someone was really upset. And I just, said, hey, you know what? I'm a minister. I'm a life coach. If you need anything, let me know. I can, just kind of help you out, point you in the right direction, whatever. If you don't feel comfortable talking to me, well, she opened up. And then she told me some things that she does. And I'm like, whoa, I could use that right now. So we wound up helping each other. And that was a beautiful experience. So you never know. I always say, listen to your intuition, excuse me. Listen to your intuition. If you feel pulled, drawn to do something, do it. If not, then don't force it. Let it go, because that's not your assignment. That's not meant for you. But helping other people to raise their vibration, lift their mood, their emotions, that's a beautiful thing, and you will instantly be rewarded, for doing so. But make sure that you go through, and you just start section by section. Start with your childhood, start with your adolescent, start with adulthood, present day, and different people in your life, people that may have even left your life that you may have forgotten about, and all of a sudden, they kind of pop up into your head. They pop up into your head because I really feel that the spirit world, or your spirit, your soul, is holding on to something, and you need to let go of. But you may not be thinking about it. And just because you're not thinking about it, just because it's not fresh in your mind, does not mean that it's not bothering you and that it doesn't exist. Think about that. Just because you may have forgotten about someone or a situation does not mean that situation does not, or that person, or whatever happened with that person, is not affecting you today. That is a lie if you believe it. Do not lie to yourself. Make sure anything that pops up in your head, deal with that memory. Deal with that person, writing the letter. You don't have to call the person and talk to them. Sometimes people are no longer, you're no longer in touch with someone that you need to heal from. And you can't just not heal because you don't know how to reach them, or people could have passed away. You can't just not heal because they've passed away and the time is gone. No. Make that time now. Write the letters out. Burn them. Write the letters out. Bury them. But you know what? I would only bury in the earth something positive. If you want someone's forgiveness, I would write a letter of apology, ask for their forgiveness, and plant that in the ground, because that will grow. That will rise up and grow. Things that you want to get rid of, burn it, let the wind carry it away. That's what I would do. Or you could write a letter, and if there's a stream that flows away from your house, you can put it there. And you do not need to speak to him to have closure. All you need is time alone. You can if you have a bathtub, you could take a nice bath. You could take a nice bath and wash yourself down with salt to cleanse yourself from those emotions. After you get out of that bath and you've cleansed yourself physically, then you can write out the letter and, write out your closure in that letter. Get your closure from that letter, And one thing I would do is, after you write that letter, I would get a black string, thread, yarn, whatever, tie it around, wrap it around the letter, hold it in your hand, and say, "This is goodbye. I release you and I release myself, from the ties that bind me to you." Cut that string, and then you can burn that letter and let it go. And that would definitely help. That's a cord cutting. That would definitely help with that, Sometimes in dreams, if it's a soul tie, the person could be thinking of you and their thoughts. They're projecting their thoughts, or their feelings or emotions towards you, and you receive them in your dream. But you can definitely do a cord cutting, and get your closure that way. Or you can write him an email that he'll read, but then that could be messy, because then he might want to reach out to apologize or whatever. You don't need his apology. All you have to do is say what you need to say goodbye, let it go. Let it go, let it flow. So that's one thing I'd advise for that situation. There's there's different people in my life that I don't ever want to see or speak to. So I've had to deal. Sorry, my throat's dry. I had to deal with it my own way. I had to just write out a letter, burn it. I cut off my grandfather. He's my last surviving grandfather. He's in his 90s, and I cut him off. But I sent him a letter, and I mailed it to him, and he did respond. And I felt peace with his response, but I don't feel enough peace to talk to him again. The last time I talked to him, I said goodbye, and I said I love you, because I knew that was going to be my last time speaking with him, because I just couldn't tolerate the different things that came out of his mouth, So I had my closure with that. Well, you are very welcome, and I hope it works. If not, let me know. I could definitely try and think of something else for you. So, yeah, I think I am done with this message tonight. I hate coming on, not looking cute and stuff, but hey, it's a weekday, and I got my new little puppy. So I've been busy after work. Went shopping for my new puppy and getting her situated and adjusted, because I have a scared rabbit now that there's a puppy in the house. So, and this puppy, she's big. She's not little. But yeah, that's one thing that I do. A lot of people, they don't understand or know what a life coach does, especially when I throw spiritual in front of it, like spiritual life coach. Okay, I don't even know what a life coach does. What does a spiritual life coach do? That's what I do. I find out different issues that are going on in your life, and I just help you to find ways to, work through them. I don't want to say overcome them, because you got to go through it. You can't go over it and move on. You have to go through it to move on. If you do not go through it, it's going to keep popping up. It's going to keep coming back until you deal with it. So breaking cords, getting closure, those are things that you need to do, because if you don't do them, it's going to continue to haunt you for the rest of your life. I was talking to somebody telling you need to do shadow work. She knew what shadow work was. She knows what it's about, but she didn't want to do it because she didn't want to face her past. I said, then guess what? You're going to be stagnant right where you are. You're never going to heal. You're never going to grow. You're never going to move forward because you are weighed down by your past. It's time to grow. It's time to expand. It's time to move on. Get the pressure off of you, and own your life, take back control of your life, take back control of your emotions. A lot of times people are just angry, and you think like, man, they have no reason to be angry. They have no reason to be mad. They have no reason to be sad. Look at their life. Well, you can see what's going on the outside, but you don't know what's going on the inside. And sometimes what's going on the inside is pure freaking hell. They could be dragged through razor blades and lemon juice on the inside, daily, for all we know. So make sure you're not allowing that to happen to yourself. Make sure you're dealing with everything. Make sure you're getting your closure for yourself. And again, you do not have to talk to people to get closure from them. You pour your emotions out in that letter. You cry on that letter. You can even spit on that letter, blow your nose on that letter just to say, get out of me. Fold it away from you. Take it outside, burn it, or put it in a stream that flows away from your home. So make sure you are doing whatever you need to do to free yourself, to cleanse yourself, and take back your happiness, take back control of your life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Erica. But yeah, so that's what I do as a life coach. As a hypnotherapist, I go deeper into your subconscious to help you to come out being who it is you want to be, help you to pull up that strength, that willpower, that extra boost that you need to conquer these situations in your life. So that's what I do. So if anybody ever wants to book an appointment with me, my website is in the description box, and all of my contact information is there. So you can email me, you can call me, set up an appointment. I have specials that I do. Or you can just keep watching me here on YouTube, and you just might watch at the right time and get the right message. So thank you, Erica. And, thank you all for tuning in, for watching. Please be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you get alerts every time I come on. I apologize because right now my times are just kind of all over the place. I'm trying to adjust to this new schedule with my son going back into karate, and he's going to be working towards his black belt, for the next 2 years. So things are going to get, even more busy for me because he's going to have to, be pounding these classes. So he's ready for his black belt in 2 years. So, I'm supporting my son and his goals that are going to help him, become, a wonderful man one day. But just bear with me. If you subscribe, you'll get, and hit the bell, then you'll definitely get the alerts and you'll know when I'm on. And I'm going to do my best to try and get myself onto a regular set schedule. But I'm thinking this 6 o'clock is going to be working for now because we have karate at 7:20 tonight. So that's what I'm going to do. Alrighty, I'm starting to ramble. So thank you so much for tuning in. Click like, share, subscribe. You can share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram, share it through text message, email, whatever. I'd appreciate that because that'll help me to grow my channel. Yeah, that'll just help me to grow. So thank you very much. Love, light, peace, blessings, all those wonderful things. Be blessed, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Erica.